back with my third video, and today we will be talking about safety. As in robotics, safety is always first. So in this video, I will be explaining safety in robotics and how it should be applied on and off of the field. So this is just a general of safety. Overall safety should always be applied in robotics. Whether handling power tools or driving a robot on the field, safety comes first because no matter what, just be safe. That's the number one rule in robotics, along with having fun and enjoying robotics. But you also need to be safe. So appropriate clothing. So clothing is always monitored wherever you are in robotics. So wear clothing that covers your toes, like closed-toed shoes, not Crocs and slippers. Does clothing that doesn't extend outwards, like a big skirt that just might drop onto the field, just sticks out and blocks everything. And always keep your hair tied up if it is loose. This is more of a rule. If you have like a ponytail, just tie your hair up. Then just keep it off of your clothes, and so that they don't get tied up in like the robot, for example. So if these requirements aren't met, then safety judges can actually ban you from the field permission for that whole day or for quite a while. So you should meet these requirements. So remember these requirements, especially for clothing. So remember to keep your hair and feet to yourself. To be safer and to add on to clothing, remember to wear goggles to protect your eyes from any harm. This is key because a robot part could get flung in the field right at your face and hit your eye. Even though the odds are less that it would probably do that, especially at your eye, the odds will be even lesser if goggles are worn. So yeah, just wear goggles. Just be safe. And of course, if you don't wear goggles on basically almost any robotics program, they're not going to allow you inside. So wear goggles. Also, wear gloves just in case when changing out a tire on your robot or just fixing something so that your hands will be clean and so that you don't spoil skin and so that you don't get like scratched, or just wear gloves. So gloves overview and tools. Here, let me just explain like why you have to wear gloves and why tools are important. So as we can see on the left, this guy, he's like probably mixing up a few chemicals, testing something out, scientific, and so he's using gloves and goggles. This is one of the most perfect examples of what to do in robotics, but except for like kind of the full-on safety gear, maybe you can put gloves. You don't have to cover all of your skin, but he did because he's handling with more like dangerous stuff than robotics, chemicals which can actually like hurt you and harm you. And he's wearing a mask where you can just you don't need to wear a mask, but the good thing is he's wearing goggles and gloves. That's what I wanted to show you. So gloves are important to protect your hands from getting hurt in general. These can easily limit effort and pain by just having a layer of material covering your skin, which is the glove. Tools are also important to help stop pain because they can limit the usage of your hand when using a robot. So like a tool is basically like a robot. Well, it's not my definition of a robot, but it can also be tied along with the robot because robots also limit usage of like work, like just limits effort. So tools also limit effort and they can actually reduce pain. For example, the orange overall tool in Legos, this weird orange tool, can actually be used to easily separate pieces of all shapes and sizes rather than using fingernails that can easily break off. So that tool is really important. Instead of using your hand and trying to pull apart Lego pieces, which I see is really hard, or using your fingernails just to separate it on the side, it really hurts after a while. I've experienced. But one time when I got a bigger Lego set, you can actually get this orange tool that you can just easily pluck off pieces. It's way more easier than actually using like your actual hand. So distraction/horseplay. Don't play around or goof off near the robot. But this is really important. It might distract someone when fixing something or when driving on the field. So when driving on the field, if somebody just calls out your name, just that's just bad, especially if they're on your team. If they're on the different team, you can actually report them, like saying competition robotics wise. This can harm you, the other person, or destroy the robot. So never play around unless all work is done and everything is safely put up in a corner or different room where it cannot get touched. So actually kind of just never play around in robotics unless like you're completely done with everything. Everything is put away separately in a different room. You don't want to play in the same room. Otherwise, you could get hurt easily, or even the robot. So, and as you can see in this picture, you can see this guy. He's not driving a robot or anything, but he's just getting distracted. So this is what you don't want to happen. And also, if you are getting distracted, just tell that person, shh. Like if you're driving the robot, then just you can't do anything. Just ignore them. Focus on the field. And if you're fixing something, don't distract. So always safe. Keep a certain distance based off of what you are wearing and what you are doing. Basically, if you're driving your robot, then wear the appropriate clothing. And if you're watching, then maybe just put on some goggles for extra protection. But I would say, no matter where you are, always have safety equipment on. So on the left, I have this picture of what not to do. It's in, I'm pretty sure Vex IQ, and basically they're not even wearing goggles, which I would recommend they would wear goggles. They're not even wearing gloves, and you can't see their shoes. Well, I can't see them either in the picture, but still they should be wearing goggles and gloves at this distance, especially close to the robot. So don't do this, do the opposite. Now, alert. Before driving your robot, remember to alert other teammates that you are going to move your robot. This way that they know that they shouldn't touch the robot. Otherwise, if they are handling the robot and you drive onto them, serious injuries could occur, especially with bigger robots. So always warn others before doing anything. This it should be considered actually not even when driving your robot, when doing anything. Like when taking off a piece, just remember to alert everybody saying, oh, I'm going to take off this piece. Is this okay? Unless you guys already talked together, coach agreed, and then you guys are like, okay, let's take this off. This will work. So then you can take off the piece, but you still have to warn others before driving, before moving the robot in general, just picking it up, before putting it away, before taking anything out. Just always alert others, like your teammates. So that's all for this video. Remember, thanks for watching, and remember to follow me on Instagram, subscribe and like. And if you have any questions, just add them in the comments. Thank you.